It began on a quiet Thursday evening, March 2nd, 2013. Emma Caldwell was just 24 years old. She left her job at the Grove Cafe in Charlotte, North Carolina, waved goodbye to her coworkers around 7:15 p.m., stepped out into the cool dusk air and vanished. At exactly 7:42 p.m., her phone pinged for the last time. She sent a single, cryptic text to her roommate. "Don't wait up, I need to clear my head." Emma never returned home. No signs of struggle, no known enemies, no unusual bank activity. Her phone, wallet, and car, all missing. For 12 years, her family endured agony and limbo. Police scoured forests, drained ponds, interviewed more than 200 people. Nothing. Witnesses claimed they'd seen Emma talking to a man in a gray sedan near the cafe earlier that day. He was never identified. Detective Carla Mendez wrote in her 2013 report. Vehicle described as a silver-gray Toyota Camry, tinted windows, possibly early 2000s model. No license plate identified. Driver described as Caucasian male, mid-30s, scruffy beard, dark hoodie. By 2015 the case had gone cold. Pause, slower, until February 19, 2025. A routine property sale in a nearby town led construction workers to a forgotten hunting cabin, just 17 miles from where Emma disappeared. Inside, in a hidden crawlspace, dust-covered boxes, old photos, tapes, clothing, and a broken flip phone. But one item stopped investigators cold: a journal. Inside, a name, scribbled over and over, EC. Police traced the journal to Miles Hanover, a reclusive ex-professor who once taught psychology at a nearby university. He died in 2021, alone, unmarried, uninvestigated. Emma had taken a summer class with him in 2012. That connection had never surfaced before. Digging deeper, police discovered he'd owned the same silver-gray Camry described by witnesses. His laptop, found in storage, was wiped clean, but forensics recovered fragments of encrypted diary entries. August 17, 2013. She said she wouldn't tell, but she's too bright, she sees too much. In 2025, DNA analysis of fibers found in the cabin matched Emma's hair, but still, no body. Then, a chilling voicemail, from a burner phone sent to a journalist on the case, a distorted voice: "She's not dead, stop digging." The number pinged once, from Veracruz, Mexico, then silence. Did Emma escape? Did she stage her own disappearance for a life she wanted more? Or was she taken, kept captive, maybe still alive? Her sister, Rachel Caldwell, said in 2025, "I don't care what anyone says, I know she's alive, somewhere out there she's waiting for us to find her." 12 years, one text, one cabin, no remains, no confession. The case, still open, and Emma Caldwell, still vanished. If you have any information, call the Charlotte PD Cold Case Unit at the number on screen. This was Vanished Whispers True Crime. Subscribe for more real-life mysteries. Because sometimes, the truth waits in silence. In the weeks following Emma Caldwell's disappearance, investigators turned to the only people who might have seen what happened: the witnesses. But what they heard only deepened the mystery. The first statement came from a cafe regular, Susan Miller. She claimed she saw Emma arguing with a man in the parking lot, a man she couldn't identify, but remembered for his nervous energy and the way he kept looking over his shoulder. Then, an elderly neighbor, Mr. Jenkins, described something different. He insisted he saw Emma leave alone, walking quickly, head down, as if trying to avoid someone. He never saw a car, no confrontation, just Emma, swallowed by the evening fog. Another witness, a delivery driver passing by, reported seeing a gray sedan parked across the street. He said there were two people inside, neither of them Emma. He remembered the driver's face, scruffy beard, dark hoodie, but the passenger remained a blur. Each account conflicted with the others, timelines didn't match, descriptions varied, and details seemed to shift with every retelling. The police grew frustrated, the public grew restless. The Caldwell family's hope flickered, then burned brighter with every new tip, every shadowy sighting, every maybe. The truth, it seemed, was hiding in plain sight, just out of reach, waiting for someone to see what others had missed. But which witness, if any, saw what really happened to Emma Caldwell? The search for answers would only grow more desperate and more dangerous. As the investigation pressed on, police began to record every word, hoping the truth would slip through the cracks of carefully rehearsed stories. In the cold glow of the interrogation room, Susan Miller's voice trembled as she recounted the night again. This time she mentioned the man's jacket. Dark blue, not black as before, The officer's pen paused. Detective, you're certain it was blue? Susan, I think so, or maybe it was just the light. Meanwhile, Mr. Jenkins, the elderly neighbor, grew defensive under repeated questioning. Detective, are you sure Emma was alone? Mr. Jenkins, I told you, I only saw her, no one else. Yet, a later transcript revealed a slip. Mr. Jenkins, there was, well, maybe a car, but it didn't stop. The delivery driver's story shifted too. Initially adamant about the gray sedan, he was now less certain about the passenger. Detective, could the passenger have been Emma? Driver, I'm not sure anymore. It was dark. Then a new name surfaced in the transcripts, a local mechanic with a history of violence, seen near the cafe that night. His alibi was shaky, and his connection to Emma unclear. The officers pressed him, their voices low and urgent. Detective, where were you after 10 p.m.? Mechanic, home, alone. But phone records told a different story. With every line of questioning, the web of suspects grew. Each transcript revealed inconsistencies, new leads, and a chilling realization someone was lying, and the truth was slipping further away. As the evidence board filled, the case moved from confusion to suspicion. The hunt for Emma Caldwell and her secrets was far from over. As detectives pored over the mounting files, a disturbing new thread emerged. In the dim light of the evidence lab, a forensic technician dusted a discarded cell phone case found near the park, Emma's initials faintly etched inside. Under ultraviolet light, a single fingerprint glowed, but it matched no one in the database. Meanwhile, digital forensics uncovered a series of cryptic text messages sent from Emma's phone after her disappearance. The messages were brief, almost coded. Strings of numbers and symbols that stumped investigators and hinted at a secret only Emma might have understood. Then came the most chilling discovery, a torn piece of paper tucked inside Emma's diary. On it, a hastily drawn map marked with an X and a single word, run. The handwriting was shaky, desperate. Visuals flicker, a gloved hand bagging the phone case, close-ups of the cryptic text on a glowing screen, the map's jagged lines under forensic lights. Each clue deepened the puzzle, raising more questions than answers. Was Emma trying to send a warning, or was someone else sending a message to those still searching? As the evidence grew more sinister, one thing became certain. The truth was buried deeper than anyone feared, and the shadows around Emma Caldwell's disappearance grew darker still. Just when investigators thought the trail had gone cold, a breaking news alert stunned the nation. The evening headlines blared, "New suspect emerges in Emma Caldwell case." Visuals flash, a swirl of red and blue police lights, news anchors with furrowed brows, and social media feeds erupting with speculation. Detectives watched in disbelief as security footage surfaced from a gas station just miles from where Emma vanished. The grainy video showed a figure, face obscured, using Emma's stolen debit card. But the real shock came when a forensic analyst enhanced the footage. The figure wore a distinctive bracelet, identical to one Emma's closest friend Lily had been seen wearing in earlier interviews. Reenactments play, Lily glancing over her shoulder, hurriedly withdrawing cash, then disappearing into the night. Investigators scrambled to re-interview Lily, who had always maintained her innocence. But confronted with the evidence, her story faltered, and a wave of suspicion swept over the entire investigation. The revelation shattered previous assumptions, upending the narrative and casting doubt on everything that had come before. Who was Lily protecting? And how deep did the secret surrounding Emma's disappearance truly go? As the case took a dramatic new turn, the hunt for the truth entered a dangerous new phase. One where no one was above suspicion, and every friendship could hold a deadly secret. The investigation spiraled into uncertainty. Detectives pored over Lily's alibi, but conflicting timelines and missing surveillance footage left more questions than answers. The bracelet, once a symbol of friendship, now lay in an evidence bag, its meaning twisted and unclear. Visuals fade in, empty city streets under flickering streetlights, a lone evidence board cluttered with photographs and red string, and Emma's phone, screen-cracked, unread messages still glowing in the dark. Despite exhaustive searches and countless interviews, Emma remained missing, and Lily's involvement was never fully proven. Rumors spread, theories multiplied, but the truth stayed just out of reach. Was Lily hiding something, or was she another victim of circumstance? The case file closed, but not with resolution, only with a chilling silence. Emma's story lingers in the shadows, a reminder that some mysteries refuse to be solved. On screen, a final message appears. What do you think happened to Emma Caldwell? Share your theories in the comments. Sometimes the answers are closer than we think, or farther than we'll ever know. The screen fades to black, the haunting music echoing as the mystery endures. Just when hope seemed lost and Emma's disappearance faded into rumor, a new witness stepped forward, her identity concealed, her voice trembling with fear. In a dimly lit interview room, she recounted the night Emma vanished. "I saw Emma," she whispered. "But she wasn't alone. She was with Mr. Dalton, the city councilman. They argued by the parking lot. He grabbed her arm. She looked scared." Detectives exchanged tense glances. The respected councilman, known for his spotless reputation, was suddenly at the center of suspicion. The police called Mr. Dalton in for questioning. The interrogation room was thick with tension, the only light a harsh lamp above the table. "Detective, where were you the night Emma Caldwell disappeared?" Dalton, "At home, alone." Detective, "Witnesses place you at the scene. Why did you argue with Emma?" Dalton, "I never saw her. This is a mistake." As the interrogation intensified, Dalton's composure cracked. He fidgeted, voice faltering. "She threatened to expose me," he muttered, "but I didn't hurt her." Meanwhile, forensic teams uncovered a hidden folder on Emma's recovered phone, encrypted messages between her and Dalton. The text revealed threats, pleas, and a desperate plan to meet in secret. The evidence was damning. Detectives stared at the screen in disbelief. Emma's family, watching from the hallway, broke down in tears, hope and horror colliding in a single moment. As the city reeled, reporters gathered outside the station. The truth, long buried, was finally clawing its way into the light. In the shadows of power, secrets are never safe. And Emma Caldwell's fate was tied to forces darker than anyone had dared to imagine. As dawn broke over the Charlotte police station, detectives gathered for one final interview. The air was thick with anticipation. In the interrogation room, the suspect, Miles Hanover's former associate, sat across from Detective Carla Mendez. The final transcript reads, "Detective Mendez, did you help Miles Hanover abduct Emma Caldwell?" Suspect, "Yes, I was afraid. He threatened me, but I know where she is." Guided by the confession, police searched a remote woodland cabin. There, after 12 long years, they found Emma Caldwell's remains, finally bringing her home. News of the breakthrough swept through the city. The Caldwell family gathered for a private memorial, their faces a mix of grief and relief. Emma's mother, her voice trembling, spoke to the gathered crowd. "We never gave up hope. Let Emma's story remind us to cherish and protect one another." The community, once divided by suspicion, now stood united in remembrance. Candlelight vigils illuminated the night, each flame a promise that Emma would never be forgotten. As the story closes, Emma's photograph appears on screen, surrounded by flowers. A final message reads, "Even in the darkest shadows, truth can find its way to the light." Just as the Caldwell family began to heal, a shadow from Emma's past emerged, a figure long believed to have vanished from her life. Surveillance footage from a nearby flower shop caught a glimpse, a hooded stranger leaving a single white rose at Emma's memorial. The stranger's movements were deliberate, almost ritualistic. Detective Mendez reviewed the footage, her brow furrowed. The next morning, an anonymous letter arrived at the police station. The handwriting was shaky, but the message was clear. "You only know half the story. Ask about the summer of 2008. The truth is buried deeper than you think." Emma's childhood friend Julia recognized the handwriting immediately. It belonged to Nathan Parker, Emma's first love, who disappeared years before her abduction. Julia's hands trembled as she read the letter aloud, her voice cracking with emotion. Confronted by detectives, Nathan finally stepped out of the shadows. His eyes were haunted. "I tried to warn her," he whispered, "but back then no one would listen. There were secrets. Secrets Emma kept to protect everyone she loved. Miles wasn't the only one with a motive." The revelation sent shockwaves through the investigation. Cryptic messages, hidden journals, and forgotten friendships. Suddenly, the case was no longer closed. The Caldwell family, still reeling from grief, now faced a new storm of questions. As the screen fades to black, Nathan's voice echoes, "If you want justice for Emma, you have to know the whole truth. And the truth is much darker than anyone imagined." The story, it seems, is far from over. The days after Nathan's revelation stretch on, weighed down by uncertainty. Inside the Caldwell home, grief clings to every corner. Emma's laughter now a memory that flickers like candlelight in the minds of her family and friends. Emma's mother, Linda, sits alone in her daughter's untouched bedroom. The air is thick with longing and unanswered questions. She runs her fingers over Emma's favorite scarf draped across the bedpost, her breath catching as she finds a small, battered notebook wedged beneath a pillow. The cover is worn, the pages filled with Emma's looping handwriting, private thoughts, half-written letters, and coded messages that seem to hint at fears she never voiced. As Linda flips through the notebook, tears blur her vision. She clutches it to her chest, a lifeline to a daughter lost but never truly gone. Downstairs, Emma's brother Josh paces restlessly. The discovery of the notebook sparks heated debates. Was Emma reaching out for help or hiding something to protect them all? Julia, still shaken from Nathan's return, pores over the cryptic entries with the family. Each passage is a puzzle, each memory a double-edged sword. Suspicion grows. Was there someone else involved, someone even closer than they realized? Yet, amid the pain, glimmers of hope surface. Josh recalls a childhood promise he made to Emma, to never give up, no matter how dark things seemed. The family gathers, united by a new purpose, to honor Emma by finding the truth, no matter where it leads. As the camera lingers on the battered notebook, Linda's voice, trembling but resolute, breaks the silence. Emma was trying to tell us something. We owe it to her to listen. In the shadows of heartbreak, determination sparks. The search for answers and healing begins anew. The battered notebook yields its first secret, a slip of paper tucked between the pages, covered in a string of numbers and foreign words. Julia's heart pounds as she deciphers the code, a flight number, a date, and a city, Barcelona. The investigation pivots. Detectives partner with Interpol, their search expanding far beyond the quiet streets of Emma's hometown. Grainy CCTV footage emerges. A young woman, matching Emma's description, slips through the arrivals gate at El Prat Airport, glancing over her shoulder. The trail is faint, but it's enough. In Barcelona, the city's labyrinthine alleys become the backdrop for a tense pursuit. Local authorities guide the detectives through crowded plazas and shadowy side streets. Each clue feels like a whisper, an abandoned backpack in a hostel, a coded message scrawled in a guidebook, the lingering sense that they're always one step behind. One evening, in a dimly lit cafe, a mysterious figure slips a note to the lead detective. The message is simple. She is not safe, trust no one. Moments later, a woman with Emma's hair and gait vanishes into the throng before they can reach her. Was it Emma, or someone sent to mislead them? The tension is palpable, foreign languages, unfamiliar faces, and the ever-present fear of being watched. The detectives realize that Emma's story is bigger than they imagined, a web of secrets stretching across borders. As the sun sets over Barcelona, the team regroups, the city's pulse echoing their own racing hearts. The answers feel closer, yet just out of reach. The hunt for Emma, and the truth, continues, now under a foreign sky. The narrow streets of Barcelona are cloaked in midnight silence as the investigation enters its final, desperate hours. In a cramped hotel room, Julia and the detectives pore over every scrap of evidence. The coded notes, the grainy footage, the whispered warnings. Each clue feels heavier now, each unanswered question more urgent. Suddenly a call pierces the tension. A voice, trembling but unmistakably Emma's, instructs Julia to come alone to a secluded rooftop overlooking the city. The team debates, torn between fear and hope. Against her better judgment, Julia goes, her heart pounding with every step up the shadowy stairwell. On the rooftop, the city sprawls below, a maze of secrets. Emma stands in the half-light, her eyes haunted, her voice barely a whisper. She reveals the truth. She ran not just from a threat, but from the weight of secrets she could no longer bear. The coded messages were warnings, breadcrumbs for those she hoped would understand. She confesses to uncovering a network that reaches deeper than anyone imagined. Corruption, betrayal, and the complicity of people she once trusted. As Julia listens, tears streak down her face. The detectives, listening through a hidden earpiece, realize the danger is far from over. Suddenly, dark figures appear on the rooftop. Emma begs Julia to leave, to protect herself from the same fate. A struggle ensues, a blur of desperate shouts and flashing lights. In the chaos, Emma slips away once more, vanishing into the night. The authorities arrest 2 suspects linked to the network, but Emma is gone, her fate uncertain. In the aftermath, Julia stands at the edge of the rooftop, the city lights flickering below. The case is technically closed, but nothing feels resolved. The truth is out, but so are new questions. Did Emma escape, or was she taken? Who can really be trusted? As dawn breaks, Julia vows to keep searching, haunted by the secrets that linger in the shadows. The story ends not with closure, but with the chilling realization that some mysteries are meant to endure, echoing in the hearts of those left behind. The hunt for Emma is over, or is it? Dawn breaks over Charlotte, golden sunlight spilling across rooftops once shadowed by fear. The city awakens, forever changed. In Emma's favorite park, the Caldwell family gathers, hands joined, hearts heavy but hopeful. Together they plant a young tree in her memory, roots reaching deep, branches stretching toward the light. Detective Mendez sits at her desk, the case file marked closed, resting before her. She gazes out the window, reflecting on the journey, justice served, but the cost never forgotten. As evening falls, townspeople gather at a candlelit memorial. Flames flicker in the dusk, each light a promise to remember, to support, and to heal together. The Caldwell family stands beneath the newly planted tree, sunlight filtering through its leaves. In this moment, grief and hope intertwine, Emma's legacy taking root in the hearts of all who loved her. Though the pain of loss endures, the community moves forward, stronger, united, and forever inspired by Emma's courage. In memory of Emma Caldwell, may her story inspire hope, justice, and the enduring power of truth for all.